So we are back. I know y'all missed me last week, but last week it was the game. So I wasn't missing the game. Um, sorry. It was women's basketball, and uh, having to see that history that they are doing with women's basketball in college. I had to see that. I had to see Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. So and then, of course, I did watch the championship, which they tweeted that they did 18 million views, I believe. So shout out to all of the girls that is paving the way. And I really, really do hate that it is some veterans that is kind of, frustrated. But I do understand why they are frustrated. But then at the same time, y'all please have to look at it as, they're bringing that media popularity, everything that you guys always wanted in women's basketball and WNBA, they're bringing that to WNBA. They're trying to, revolution, it's a new day for WNBA, and the draft is this week. I will be watching that. But this is a new era for women's basketball. It is some future stars in college women's basketball. And, of course, this draft, these girls that's getting drafted, they are a new day, a new era. And we should see some great things in WNBA going forward. It's already been great, but I feel like, they're coming in with some pressure applied because, we still want the women players to get better pay so they won't have to go overseas and deal with the situation that we got Brittany Griner from and things like this. So, yeah, so that's why I wasn't here on Monday. So if you don't know me, if you new to Keeks, I do love wrestling, and I'm a Texas girl, and I love sports. Football is God in Texas. Is high school football, fills stadiums down here. So I love football. I do love basketball, and I do like wrestling. So like, if it's something that's happening on a Monday, especially when football comes around, especially if my boys is making me proud, then I'm gonna be like, hey, it ain't gonna be no show because I'm watching this. Okay, so just had to click yeehaw. Yeah. You heard what Beyonce said. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it was the Mania weekend. A lot of great things happened. Indie matches. ROH had a pay-per-view, and of course, night one and night two. And I did watch night one and night two. If you follow me, where's your cowboy hat? It is my daughters. I gotta get it washed because my daughters was wearing my favorite one and got stuff on the top part. So I got to get it washed and buy some new ones too. But yeah. But night one and night two of Mania was this weekend. I did watch. If you follow me on Twitter, I was live tweeting it. Again, I am a casual WWE fan. I do watch the pay-per-views. And then if it's something spectacular coming up, like on a SmackDown or something like that, I will watch. I have no problem watching. It was very interesting. It was very fun. It was fun if you just went into it just to, have fun. And that's what I do. Like, I watch WWE to kind of get my mind off of observing and analyzing and stuff like that, like I do AEW. So it's a great, mechanism for me to kind of just have fun because that's what it's about, having fun. I will say, though, don't you ever in your life play the Shield music again, because I really thought my Moxley was coming out there. Like, I was about to be shocked, like, oh, Tony just did the approval. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, maybe they talked it out or something. I don't know. But I heard that Shield music and I was just like, he's here? I was just like, everybody on Twitter, I was like, he's here? He's arrived? But yeah, so great Mania weekend, but now it's time to get back on track because we got Dynasty coming up for AEW, and then of course around the corner from that it will be Double or Nothing, and then around the corner from that it will be Forbidden Door. So it's going to be a fun spring, summer for AEW, because after Forbidden Door, it's they all in where they at the Wembley Stadium. So let's get into the show. Now, today I'm going to be highlighting, of course, Dynamite, Collision, Rampage. I'm going to go over, briefly ROH Supercard pay-per-view, which was really, really good. I hope you guys support them and watch that. I know a lot of my mutuals actually went to the show. Public Enemies was out there, WrestleMania. They was out there in Philly. I saw the pictures. They had a great time. They deserve that vacation. Because I don't attend WWE events no more. My last time was when they was out here for Dallas for the Mania out here. So I don't attend WWE shows, but you can catch me at the AEW shows. So, so I'm going over ROH Supercard, of course, women business, and then we're going to get onto our main topic of today, which is the title of the show, Situations Will Arise. Okay? Clearing Mox, but not Dustin would have been. Yeah, I mean, it would have been really funny. Like, and that would have gave him even more reason to talk his mess on Twitter. But let's get into it. Don't want to waste time. Let's get into it. So, the openers for both Dynamite and also Collision. Now, today, y'all, I was a little lazy with the graphics, so I just did anything this week because it was a lot. We had the eclipse. I was busy. So, hey Eddie, how you doing? But opening for Dynamite and also Collision, Adam Copeland, he opened up with his Martin Luther King speech, "Free at last, freedom, peace." We got that promo. He was like, AEW, WWE, it's okay to watch both. We join hands in sister and brotherhood of wrestling. That's what we got, because it's been tension all this week between Punk and also the Elite and also Jack Perry. So it's like, that's kind of resurfacing. So he wants to make like, hey, you guys, it's all peace. It's peace. It's peace. And, he came in with that shit. And, the civil rights legend. Don't start that, because I already don't like that Cody Luther King shit. So, yeah. But yeah, he came out here on some everybody enjoy everything. He ain't war ready right now. He has no idea. Once you join AEW, you're hated. It don't matter what you did at WWE. If you come to AEW, you got to be prepared to be hated. You got to be prepared to say that you wasn't that good, no ways, who cares, none of that. So it ain't no peace. It won't be no peace because, yeah, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. And then a Collision opener, it was for the AEW World Tag Team Title Tournament. The semifinal match, it was FTR versus Top Flight. And if you are not on Twitter, Dex did block me. I am blocked by Dex Harwood. He didn't like what I had to say because apparently after Collision, not after Collision, but after Dynamite, he chose to do a promo himself. And I felt like it was really fake on his end. And this is not to defend CM Punk, but my thing is, if you're gonna be friends with somebody, just be quiet, because it's giving like they blow where the wind blows. And I just called him fake. I was just like, that's fake of you to kind of throw digs at him, and that's your friend. That's supposed to be your friend, but now that's not your friend. And I'm just like, y'all really blow where the wind blows. And he ain't like that, so he blocked me. I don't care, because it's Team Elite over here anyway. But, yeah, so it was Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus Top Flight, Darius, and Dante Martin. It originally is supposed to be Ricky Starks and Big Bill, but Ricky Starks got injured. So they had to call an audible, and Top Flight ended up winning. That match, it to me personally, it could have been better, but it got better towards the second half of the match. Okay, and I don't know what FTR deal is when it's time to wrestle like high flyers, but they just it gives off like it doesn't work for me, brother, but I'm gonna do it anyway, and it takes away the competitiveness and to kind of show that you are a little bit versatile instead of and also prepping yourself to wrestle eventually Young Bucks because they ended up winning, so we know it's gonna be Young Bucks, which I'll get into later on. But yeah, so we had that. But yeah, Adam Copeland came out as Martin Luther King, and then after that he brought out Will Ospreay, and then that's what led to the second match, which was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Will Ospreay. Great match. I like Powerhouse Hobbs never ceases to amaze me. He is a great big man. He scares the hell out of me too. Like he restores that feeling of fear of a wrestler. Like his presence is just scares me. Like I root for him, but I'm scared as hell. Like if he look my direction, I'm a flinch. Like please don't hurt me, you know. But Will Ospreay was just showing. Yes, Hobbs is him. Will Ospreay was showing. You know he can get with the Powerhouse Hobbs, and it looked like it was a little bit of displeasing because of course Will Ospreay takes the win. Hobbs didn't he wasn't feeling it. He didn't like that he took that L. And yeah, I give me more Hobbs. Give me more Hobbs. I love the way that he's been booked so far. Like he is still that dominant, strong big man, even if he take a loss. Like it's like he take a win, take a loss, take a loss. So it's not a consistent loss for him. But he will still beat the brakes off of you each match. And then on Collision, it was the Bastard Pac versus indie talent out there. His name is Encore Moore. And of course, it wasn't too long. He was just getting a little bit of that ring rust out of him and having a match. And then after that, he ended up calling out. He ended up calling out Okada. Okay, so we may see a Pac and Okada. He did call him out. So we had that. Eddie said, "Do you think Ospreay and Copeland match would be good?" We shall see, because y'all know I'm not the biggest Adam Copeland fan. I never was. It was always Christian for me. So we shall see. Adam Copeland is trying to show everybody that he doesn't just wrestle WWE style, that he is able to keep up with the modern styles. He wants to be able to make up for the times that he lost due to his neck injury. So I get what he's doing. But we shall see. We shall see. I don't know, because he's facing Penta on Wednesday. And I said on Twitter, I'm like, Penta is about to give you the hardest chop you ever had in your life. Okay. And I say that because if Gunther says the hardest chop he's ever taken was from Penta, I don't know, Adam Copeland, you might start coughing. I don't know. He might knock the wind out your ass. I don't know. But yeah, so after that, on Dynamite, you had Lance Archer versus Bryan Danielson, another great match with another big man, Lance Archer. He definitely was the highlight to me in this match. Bryan Danielson, of course, is going to be the GOAT as he is. He's very good. He's very fluent. And one of the GOATs of this era. But Lance Archer was just able to show everybody that he is still him too. And I really enjoyed seeing Lance Archer on the ring. He was just incredible. He was definitely the highlight. Him and Hobbs, in my opinion, was definitely I don't know who was top one and top two, but those two are definitely the top two big men's AEW have as far as wrestlers, big man wrestlers. And yeah, so you had that, of course, Bryan Danielson, he takes the win on that. And then on Collision, you had Lion Hook. It was Jericho, Lionheart versus Shane Taylor's promotion, which was Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Y'all gonna hate me for what I have to say, okay? You're gonna hate me, but Hook actually has great chemistry with Chris Jericho. We're all tired of seeing Chris Jericho, but what I saw on Collision, I was just like, the dynamic of Lion Hook is better than the dynamic with Jericho and Sammy. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, y'all know me. I think for myself and I analyze, okay? It's not a popular opinion, but it is an opinion that I saw. The dynamic that, they had together as a tag team flows a little bit better than when Jericho was with Sammy. And me personally, I feel like Hook may be a better student to Jericho than Sammy was. Because obviously he failed with Sammy. Like, Sammy ain't learned shit, okay? He hasn't learned nothing. But this match, you can tell that Hook is learning from Jericho. I saw it. Hook may be his protege, okay? He may be the one that Jericho can do right by. And I know y'all like, everybody else is like, he likes to dig ride the younger, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But I feel like he can have a redemption. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow, and it's going to be up to the fans to want to give him a chance again. But they have a better dynamic together. That's what I saw. That's what I saw. I'm just speaking for me. Okay, you might not agree, and that's fine, but that's just what I saw. Shane Taylor is phenomenal. Another great big man. Shane Taylor is ruthless. He's like, he put fear in me too. And I met him. He's such a nice guy too. He's very nice, very sweet. But he is tough. Like, he was throwing Jericho which away, and he was giving Hook the blues. And so did Lee. Lee was giving Hook the blues too. Like, people gotta stop underestimating Lee Moriarty. I know because how he's booked, but Lee can go too. And it was a great match for what it was. I wasn't expecting, a top match. I knew it was like a tester to the Lion Hook, and it did what it had to do. And then after the match, Jericho was knocked out by Anthony Ogogo. He has returned to AEW television, and he has joined Shane Taylor's promotion, and that's a good move. That's a good move. Jericho can't keep getting away with it. I know that. The man does not want to go home. He don't want to go home. I don't know why he don't want to just, like, Jericho, if you're listening, just maybe get an apartment. I don't know. Like, you can get an apartment. You can afford it. Get an apartment or get a hotel or something. Like, if you don't want to go home to her, just get an apartment. Is she that crazy? What is that? I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Don't quote me on that now. But yes, Anthony Ogogo knocked out Chris Jericho. And he has joined Shane Taylor promotion. And it's a good call. So again, STP will be great heels. And they work perfectly for Collision. They've been doing a good job booking STP. And they are good mid-card heels. And I do appreciate that. So we'll see how this go. We haven't seen Anthony Ogogo in a while. He was injured. He looks healthy. He looks good. He he's not an ugly guy. So he looks good, you know. So we'll see. We'll see from that. And then next up on Dynamite, and it's crazy because as much as people hated, it was the highest on the demo. And it was Billy Gunn versus Jay White. And I don't care what y'all say. That match was a good match. It was just everything afterwards that didn't make no sense. But who cares? Because they got the highest demo from Dynamite. It was Billy Gunn and Jay White. Now, the shenanigans afterwards kind of made it decline a little bit, but the match itself, it was the highest because people love Jay White. You know, y'all might not like how he's booked, but he's going to keep getting those ratings no matter if it's a corny match and no matter if it's your type of match. Okay, so it was and I put it on my Twitter. Every time, because I got the Patreon. So when I seen it, and I'm just like, see, they about to be like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, people actually like the match. Because if they didn't like it, it would have declined. It didn't. It started declining once the Acclaim came out. That's what I'm saying. People like, y'all might hate how it is, but it's others out there like, people don't understand Twitter is just a small circle compared to everybody else. Because Twitter hated that match, but then I'm in the AEW group on Facebook, they loved it. And then Reddit, they loved it too. I'm just saying. Twitter, y'all not the end all be all, okay? It is still larger groups out there on different social media platforms, okay? Y'all might hated it, but it was people on Facebook that loved it. It was people on TikTok that loved it. It was people on Instagram that didn't mind it. They understood it. So, big bank, take little bank, okay? Y'all got to kind of understand that. I know the diehard Jay White fans didn't like it, but guess the fuck what? It was the highest thing in the demographic. They met, like the 18 and 49 was the highest. Okay? Anywho, I ain't gonna talk about the shenanigans afterwards because that was not necessary. I didn't like that part. But on Collision, you had Malachi Black, the House of Black, versus Christopher Daniels, Matt Sydal, and also Brian Keith. Again, Brian Keith, Brody King, them two highlighted that match. No shade. No shade at all. Brian Keith and Brody King was the highlight of that match. I'm sorry. And it was kind of hard to watch it because that was right after Mania, so everybody was still kind of turned. And then we had to wait on Collision. TNT was tripping. We was still watching them talk about basketball. So, yeah. But it was a decent match for what it was, but it was a good match for Brian Keith and Brody King. I can't wait to see Brody King solo. I'd rather have Brody King solo. It makes sense. Because Malachi Black, House of Black has that match coming up with Edge and FTR on Dynasty. So that shenanigans was happening. They was prepping for that match or whatever. But yeah, we got that. And then after that on Collision, it was Claudio versus the Butcher. The Blade, I believe, is injured, so Butcher's just been doing his thing. And I do enjoy Butcher. I love Butcher. I've always loved Butcher. He's a great worker. He does his job. He does what as that being that mid-card heel, he does what he's supposed to do. He does contribute to that. They did a lot when they was on Dark, when they was on Elevation, when they was on Rampage. So I had to look that up to see. I'm like, why Butcher and Blade couldn't be on the tournament, stuff like that? And it was like the Blade is injured. So, yeah, injuries ain't been on our side in AEW, but you do what we work with what we got. And it was a decent match to build up Claudio for the ratings. And they said they're going to start doing it on the first week of every month, which makes sense. You don't have to do it weekly. Just keep it up once a month, okay? And Claudio takes the win on that. And then you had both the main, not the main events, I'm sorry. You had the AEW World Tag Team Tournament. It was a semi-final match. It was Young Bucks versus the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. Great match for the two. Like, I knew that I knew it was going to pick up once those four gave a match. And then I also knew, the outcome, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in the show. But the Young Bucks, they take the win. And then, of course, it's going to be Young Bucks versus FTR at Dynasty. Well, I'm sorry, not at Dynasty, because how they going to face? Now I'm confused. No, it is going to be FTR and Young Bucks. Because who was Edge partners for? Oh, no, it was Briscoe and Eddie Kingston. I'm sorry, y'all. I had a brain fart. Just a second ago. There you go. I had a brain fart. But yeah, so FTR versus the Elite for the third time. I feel like this time Young Bucks definitely going to win because they're going to use their EVP. They're going to go into their character and take the belts. FTR, it's time for you to lose to Young Bucks. Young Bucks has, they've been very gracious. They've been very nice. They let y'all have that moment and all in. They don't want to put the word in for y'all to have all the tag team belts. So now it's time for y'all to bend the knee because that's what y'all do anyway. So yeah, we're gonna have the Elites and FTR, and then also on Collision, you had let me see. Yeah, the Collision, it was Penta versus Commander. And that was a great Lucha Libre, AE Lucha match. Penta was going off. I do love the blue gear that he had on. It was very beautiful. See, Penta, and if y'all don't be paying attention, I do. Penta and Rey Mysterio has been slick having a gear on gear type of thing. And I don't know if anybody been peeping it but me. I have been peeping like if every time when Rey Mysterio has like some type of new gear, Penta will be like, like it's like they having kind of like a money thing going on. Like my money just as big as yours, not and as bigger. Because if you don't know, Penta is the highest paying luchador like currently. He makes more than Rey Mysterio. And not solely on wrestling, is because of his business. So they kind of be, you got it. Because I peeped it when Rey Mysterio had the Louis Vuitton mask. And then Penta turned around for a AAA match, like one of those little presses. He turned around. His was what brand was that? I want to say Gucci. Like they kind of like he'll say like they kind of been having like a little. My gear is better than your shit, and I got the same amount. Like I could spend my money on what my designer can go crazy just like yours. But I think it's really friendly. If you Google it, it's in Spanish. I saw it on it was who posted it? I want to say Lucha Blog. Lucha Blog posted an article, and it was like a while back. I want to say almost last year. So you're just probably gonna have to search Lucha Blog because it was off of his tweet. So because of the money that Penta makes in Mexico, and also, you know, the small business that they have in California, the lucha store that they have. So that was that, and also the wrestling. So he's an entrepreneur and a wrestler. So yeah, Penta money is long too. Yes, I love that video. I do, when he told them kids to stay in school. Cause they was skipping school, and he was like, what y'all do is skipping schools?" And he called them dumb and stuff like that. I remember that video. Especially that picture that he took in the private jet. That the picture that Penta took in the private jet. I'm telling you, y'all, if y'all follow Penta on Instagram, okay? Follow his Instagram. He kind of be flexing on folks. Like, he be flexing. Like, that interior design, like, inside his house, like, that shit, I'm like, y'all, Pizza be kind of flexing. Like, he don't say nothing, but he gonna let the money big over here, too. Like, you ain't the only, like, I respect you, but you ain't the only one with money, okay? We got money over here, too. How old is Penta and Ray Phoenix? I want to say, if you in the chat, Google it and just put it in the chat. I don't feel like Googling it. They in their 30s, I want to say, though. Like 35, 36, something like that. Because they not old and they not like young. 39. Yeah, Penta's about to be 40. He about to be 40. And Lady Penta, she's coming in the ring soon, his daughter. So, okay. I knew one of them was okay. Phoenix is 33, Penta is 40. I know Penta smell good. Yeah. Mexicans don't age unless they on drugs. I've always said that. Like, if Mexicans really don't really age unless they on some drugs or something. If they on drugs, they'll get old looking real fast. But if they like healthy, they really don't age. Like black people, like blacks and browns, we really don't age if we take care of ourselves. But if we on them drugs, you will see it in the face. Someone should make an account strictly. Lucha Blog. I'm telling y'all, follow Lucha Blog on Twitter. Follow Lucha Blog. And I can't think of this other account that I follow. We are real cool. I'm really cool with Lucha Blog because he inbox me from time to time about the different events that's coming, like CMLL and also AAA. Because he'll correct me sometimes, which I really do appreciate. But yeah. Uh-oh, it's paused on my end. Can't find nothing on Lucha Blog. All right. 1 second, y'all. Okay, y'all. I'm back. Okay. So, yeah, so you can't find nothing on like it's a while back. If I find it, I'll retweet it on my Twitter. But yeah, but shout out to Lucha Blog. He's really cool person. He's really nice. And like cause he's just like he said how you talk about Lucha Libre is so funny. But and then he'll correct me sometimes just in case. Like, cause sometimes I will get like the brothers or an uncle mixed up. And you know, when he correct me, he don't do it like confrontational. He'll just be like, no, that's the uncle, not the blase blase. And then he'll detail. I'm like, oh, okay. got it. So that makes sense. But so shout out to Lucha Blog. It's really nice. And then on Dynamite, the end of Dynamite, it was the contract signing for Dynasty between Samoa Joe and his challenger Swerve Strickland. And that a great sign off. I did enjoy it. It got violent. Swerve bled and he wrote his signature with his blood. So, he loved blood. He loved the blood. It's Samoa Joe just making it a point like, I'm going to beat you. We'll see. They got that match coming up on Dynasty. Will Swerve, they'll push the button on Swerve or keep it on Samoa Joe? I really feel like they're going to push that button on Swerve. I feel like it is going to be his time. And they're going to do it. He's going to have that title probably up until All In. So, yeah, we will probably see our first Black AEW champion in like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. So that's crazy. But yeah, that was the ending of Dynamite. So now I'm just going to skim through Rampage because, again, ROH Supercard was on, so I was able to catch that. So Rampage, it was the Fallen Angel, Chris Daniels versus House of Black, Malachi Black, and Buddy Matthews was there. Malachi Black ended up taking that win on that. And then it was the AEW International Championship Eliminator match. It was Roderick Strong, and also London Lightning. Roger Strong takes the win on that as well. And then it was a Final Four elimination match. Daniel Garcia, Brian Keith versus Action Andrade versus Commander. And great match overall. Daniel Garcia takes the win on that match as well. So if you didn't catch our Rampage, it is on Rampage. They might mess up Swerve's momentum. Yeah, I think it'll be a hard gamble, but yeah, it will definitely, yeah. So I feel like that's why they'll just go ahead and do it. ROH Supercard. ROH Supercard, it was this was a great pay-per-view for ROH. It was some pre-shows that happened for the Supercard. It was the premier athletes, which was Tony Nese, Ari Daivari, Josh Woods, and of course, that was with Mark Sterling versus Tony Dippin, Titus, and Adam Priest. And of course, the premier athletes takes the win on that pre-show card. Also, it was the Beast Mortos, aka Black Tyrus, and because Black Tyrus' name. AAA has the rights to his name, so he has to change it when he wrestles in the States. So his new name is Keeks in chat. And so his new name was Beast Mortos. So yeah. All right, now let's get to the main card. I'm waiting on the ROH graphic to show us so I can get it. There you go. All right, so the ROH main card, it was the open. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed Cole Carter and Griff Garrison with Maria. They went against Angelico Serpentico. Cole Carter and Griff Garrison takes the win on that. And then it was Mariah May versus Momo, a Stardom wrestler. I'm not too familiar with Stardom. So this was my first time, kind of seeing Stardom wrestlers on ROH. But I do follow Lyric and also other outlets that do talk about Stardom and things like that. And from the timeline, I just kind of be like, oh, okay. So it's okay to learn. You learn every day. Everybody learns. So yeah, I wasn't familiar with her game, but I did enjoy what I saw. Okay. So we'll get into the main card of ROH show. The main card started off with the ROH World TV Championship match. Kyle Fletcher versus Big Shotty, Lee Johnson. And I want to say I told y'all about Lee Johnson. If you tune into the show, I've always talked about Lee Johnson, and Lee Johnson exceeded. He, I saw the reactions on Twitter. I wasn't familiar with his game. I tried to tell everybody that man, what makes Lee Johnson special, not only does Lee Johnson learns, but he learns fast. He's an adapter. So he's definitely the future. Now his promo still needs work, but that's okay. That's okay. He can deliver in the ring. That's what makes Lee Johnson special. He is a quick adapter, very quick. Kyle Fletcher is Kyle Fletcher. So it was a great opening for ROH. Lee Johnson got a great, the crowd received him very well. I could tell people was impressed. So make sure, you tune into ROH and tune into Lee Johnson. ROH is a great fit for him. He's still improving as a wrestler. But in my opinion, he's probably one of the best from the Nightmare Factor family anyway. But yeah, definitely Big Shotty. But of course, Kyle Fletcher retains the title for the ROH World TV Championship. Also, we had the Stardom Women's Trios match. The Queen's Quest versus the Empress Nexus Venus. This was my first time seeing either one of these teams, but I did enjoy ROH Women's Stardom Business. I did enjoy what I saw from these ladies, and I would love to see more Stardom wrestlers in ROH and also in AEW. I did enjoy it. They gave real grasp. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And then afterwards, I know Mariah May, she came out with the champagne and they was toasting it up. They was like me. I was toasting it up too with them. I was like, I know that's right. And then after that, you had the ROH World Tag Team Championship match. It was Undisputed versus the Infantry. Again, this match, it did start off a little slow, but it did pick up a little bit. Sean Dean, Carly Bravo, they both did great. I love that the Infantry is starting to now get more shine in AEW. We saw them on Collision. They faced a FTR, and we're seeing them on an ROH pay-per-view. I want to see more of the Infantry. I wouldn't mind the Infantry actually be called up on Collision. They'll make great Collision stars. They'll make great tag team, because the tag team, it has to feel like an AEW tag team again, and they will make a great addition to it. So I did enjoy it. I thought they was gonna, give them the belt this time, but it's still on Undisputed Kingdom. So Undisputed Kingdom retains the belts at Supercard. So we'll see what else they're going to do with Undisputed Kingdom. But Infantry definitely was the highlight of that match. And then, of course, after that, you had the ROH Women's World TV Title Tournament. The final match, it was Queen Aminata versus Billy Starks. Queen was working Billy. She was working her, okay? Billy did really good, too. She's 19. She did good. She's a future in the women's division for sure. Like, if you didn't see it when she fought Queen, I hope you did. But she's definitely the future. Still a lot to learn, but they was prepping her for this moment anyway. So I knew that Billy was going to win the championship. They've been planning this. They introduced this title to get her ready for this. So she takes the win, but not in a ring of honor, in an honor way. She did a fake injury angle, and she's learning well from her mother, Athena. Okay, so she did a fake neck injury angle. She had me scared. She had people in the crowd scared, only for her to steal the win. And she is the new ROH Women's TV World TV title. So congrats to her. She's the future of the women's division. She's a great wrestler. She sold the mess that, like, Athena is teaching her well. Like, she sold the mess out of that. Like, she scared me. I was in shock. I was like, oh, not like that. I was about to see like, oh, accidents happen. I was getting ready to tweet it. And then after that, the Bullet Club Gold, they came out. Jay White and of course the Guns. Jay White was, challenging anybody for the ROH 6-man tag. Now if you love Jay White, this was a better match. For Jay White, they went against Lance Archer, Alex Zane, and Murder Grandpa Suzuki. Now this was a great match. This was a great 6-man match. If you really really enjoyed Jay White, now this was the better match for him. This was kind of a redeemer. Okay, this is probably why it was booked, because he saw y'all didn't like it. Y'all didn't like the match with Billy Gunn, but this was the better match. And Murder Grandpa, I love me some Murder Grandpa. He don't do no wrong. He does no wrong. Lance Archer, he does no wrong. And Alex Zane is his old partner, so he got a good pop when he came out with Lance Archer, because wrestling fans, especially hardcore wrestling fans, they do enjoy good callbacks in wrestling history. So fun match. It was very fun. Of course, Bullet Club Gold retains the titles. I love watching Murder Grandpa. He was just looking like, oh, okay. All right. And then we had a Fight Without Honor match between Dalton Castle and Johnny TV. And he came out there with his wife, Taya Valkyrie, which she looked amazing. She looked good. Like, Taya be having that shit on, okay? She looked great. Dalton Castle, baby, Dalton said, I lost 2 and got 8, okay? The boys are replaceable. The boys are, don't you ever, I don't care about no screenshots, because you ain't even post the full conversation. And all you did was make it kind of look worse on y'all, because y'all still didn't show up to the airport. Like, don't y'all ever disrespect Dalton Castle, okay? Because I didn't appreciate that shade. So I didn't appreciate that. But I did like Johnny Cartwheel being the boy. I did like that. Exactly. I was on their side. I'm like, now, if it was a miscommunication, I ain't like that. I was on their side until that Dalton Castle shade. Because he ain't deserved that. He ain't did nothing to y'all. Leave Dalton Castle out of that. He had 2 boys. He came out there with 8. He had 8 of them. And one of them was Johnny Cartwheel, and I like him. So, and Dalton Castle ended up winning the Fight Without Honor match. And then after that, it was the ROH Women's World Title match, Athena versus Sheeta. Real grass. I recommend you watch that match. That's definitely on my candidate when I do my AEW awards at the end of the year. Athena and Sheeta did that. They did that. Great match between the two. Athena retains the ROH World title. And I feel like, I'll talk about it when I get to women business. I'll talk about it. And then the main event, it was for the ROH World title match. It was Mad King Eddie Kingston versus Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe came out in the legendary Briscoe's original theme music. It was very, very, a lot. Them two, they had a great respectful match. It was a great honor, respectful match between the two. It was real grass. Me personally, I felt like it was a hard follow-up from Athena and Sheeta, because they kind of set that bar. Because Athena always set the bar, because she's been running ROH. She's the face of ROH. But they did deliver, and Mark Briscoe is the new ROH World Title champion, which is a great call, because the Briscoes is ROH. They're ROH. And it makes sense, because Mark Briscoe always wrestles on ROH. So if, that's a good plan for them, just, crown somebody that's going to be at ROH. to make it ROH. And what better person than Mark Briscoe? So great match indeed. Oh, there goes Sid Austin. She was there because she took pictures. She was there. She took pictures and she looked great. She looked great the whole weekend. Okay, girl, you did that. You did that. She was serving that Wale man. Like she did that. I give credit when credit is due. They were serving. She came through serving. I'm glad that you went out there. It seemed like you had a real good time, and I'm glad that you did that, and I'm glad that you back home safe. I'm glad that everybody back home safe. I'm glad that y'all had a good time during Mania weekend. But yeah, so ROH Supercard is always fun. If you go to a Mania weekend, definitely go to a ROH Supercard. My villain origin story is because of ROH Supercard. When they was out here in Dallas, I'm gonna tell y'all the story. When they was out here in Dallas, right? I was with my sister, God rest her soul. She went with me. It was me and my sister. And, I was like in the 4th seat or whatever. And that was around the time where it was the Briscoes versus FTR match. Great match, by the way. The dog collar match, it was a great match. Great. All across the board. And then, after that match, that's when the Young Bucks came out. I'm the only one. Oh my God, you Young Bucks. And everybody just started booing me. And I stand up, I'm just cussing and stuff. I'm like, y'all shut up. Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up. But it was fun. So, yeah, I got booed in my city. It was crazy. I'm going to get my payback. All right, so let's get into women's business.
Here's what you need to do. You need to stay out of women's business.
Tell them, Nene. All right, women business. So, it was very brief this week. It was very, very brief, but we're going to get a little bit into some things. Of course, Dynamite, it was for the number one contenders for the AEW Women's Championship, which was Mariah May versus Thunder Rosa. Let me tell y'all something about Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa ain't playing with you. B-words. I don't want to call y'all that. Thunder Rosa is not Thunder Rosa is not playing with these girls. Hey, the NH. Thunder Rosa is not, but she a Texas woman. Of course she not. Of course we don't do no plan. We don't do no plan. But she's not playing with it like she was not playing with Mariah May. Mariah May was doing good too, though. She was doing real good. CK, yeah, that's why I tweeted what I said, because the way that he's booking ROH with the women, it kind of confirmed that it's a Warner Media issue when it comes to women. But it's not just Warner Media. That's just all over on how they view women's wrestling, which I had talked about during women's business. But Thunder Rosa was not playing no games, bro. Like, she's not playing with it. Like, she's getting it back in blood with these girls. Like, y'all done bully me. Y'all try to make me seem like I'm the bad guy. You try to question my work ethic. You trying to say that I purposely do this and this and this. I'm on y'all ass this year. And that's what exactly she's doing. She's on everybody's ass. Like, she wasn't playing around. Like, I've never seen that. Like, Thunder Rosa usually, she always like wrestles aggressive. But she wrestling like, bitch, I don't like you. Okay? And I'm about to do something about it. That's how she's wrestling. Like, she stepped in Toni Storm face so many times. Like, girl, I'm coming for you. I am coming for you. Her encounter with Britt Baker, when it does happen, she might knock the block off that lady. But Thunder Rosa takes the win, and we have Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm at Dynasty. So we have two women business booked for Dynasty pay-per-view. Okay. I'm look, my granny is, okay? Never. That's one thing. Never, okay? So on Collision, it was, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm moving too fast. I said Collision because it was more things that happened on Dynamite. Also, we had Willow Nightingale. She did her promo where she is challenging the TBS champion Julia Hart at AEW Dynasty. And, you know, she's just letting her know that this is her time. She's ready. She is confident and why she deserves this championship, which I feel like they're going to do it. Like Willow Nightingale is going to be our champion. She's going to be our CBS champion. Thank God, because Julia ain't been doing nothing. Okay. Great intro though, but it's time to step to the side because you're not. Okay. But then during her promo, Mercedes Moné came out. Mercedes Moné said, whoever winning, I'm challenging it. Now I heard some people like, but what about the rankings? What I'm like, y'all thought that she was playing when she said she was the CEO? Y'all thought she was playing? Did y'all think that she was playing when she said she was the CEO? But I do want to say though, I love you, Mercedes Moné. I do. I need to see some wrestling now. I think she got to get now that AEW is not WWE. Okay, like yes, we do promos, but you gotta get in that ring, or we're gonna start questioning some things. Okay, so hopefully Mercedes get in the ring sometime soon. We gotta see some wrestling, baby. We gotta see some wrestling now. We gotta get a match. We gotta see something. You gotta leave that at the door. We gotta see some real grass now. The girls, we wrestle. We wrestle over here. We wrestle. It's time to get in that ring. I don't care if you fight Anna Jay or whatever. It's just time for you to get in that ring, though. So we gotta see some ring work, Mercedes. You the CEO, but let's get in the ring EO.
Hey, yo, that was crazy.
Hey, yo, that was crazy.
I rhymed that. The ring EO. I don't know. But yeah, it's time for you to get a ring, baby. We like wrestling. We like to see the ring work. And then on Collision, it was the Infantry's Trisha Dora versus Yaka. Another person that I'm not familiar with, and I believe came from Stardom. And that was a great match too. I did enjoy it. I do enjoy Trisha. Trisha Dora have always been a great wrestler to me. When she's booked out here in Texas during her indie days, I didn't mind sponsoring her. I don't regret sponsoring her. Great wrestler. I do enjoy her. She's very pretty to me too. Yuka. I'm from Texas. Okay. My pronunciation on certain things ain't gonna sound like how you say it, okay? I'm gonna let you slide because I didn't know her name like that. Yuka. She's from TJP. Thank you. She's from TJPW. Yuka. Please don't laugh at me, y'all. Thank you, Cozy. Thank you. Yuka from TJPW. Okay, so that is Yuka from TJPW. Okay, so it was a great match between the two girls. I enjoyed it. I did. From what it was, I wasn't familiar with her game, but now I'm familiar with her game. So you had that. And then also on Rampage for women's business, it was Serena Deeb versus Trish Adora. Now that If you didn't watch Trish Adora versus Serena Deeb, watch it. It was great. It was a great match. So make sure you recap that on Women's Business. As you can see, they building Trish Adora up. Okay, she's been booked more. She's getting booked more. So they figuring it out. They're figuring it out. So yeah, I did see that at the press that he confirmed Megan Bain is still signed to AEW. So yeah. So far for Dynasty, we have Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa, and also for the TBS Women's Championship, it's Willow versus Julia Hart. So we got that for Women's Business. Like I said, Women's Business was a little brief because it's Mania weekend, and a lot of them was booked for other things and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Women's Business is doing a great job. Again, Mercedes, we got to see you in the ring now. You've done promo twice. You did your walking out and things like that. All right, now it's time to get a match. Got to get a match in now. You got to get a match in now. You got to kind of leave the talking segment. You can do your feud, but now it's time to wrestle. It's been almost 3 weeks, I want to say now. It's time to wrestle. Got to get in the booth now. Okay? You got to get in there. All right, so let's get into the main topic. The title of this show is Situations Will Arise. Play it.
Situations will arise.
Usher to go. See, I love you. You were my girl.
Watch this.
Situations will arise, you guys. So we know after the match with the Young Bucks, we saw a tragedy. May you play the clip of the tragedy.
Skelter, and you go. Oh, what the hell? What the? Trent, what did we just see? Chuck has no idea either. But look at him, he's seething. Look at Trent.
Poor Chuck. Poor Chuck. Now, I feel like this story, again, will add on to why I always say Orange Cassidy is the best in-ring storyteller in wrestling currently. Now, let's start from the beginning of where this went. Why is it leading up to this? Okay. So, it was some people that was confused on why they quote unquote breaking up, like they just doing it. No, it's been leading to this point. And again, if you tune into All Elite with Keeks, I have been saying it's tension. Y'all know I have been saying it's tension since February. No, before that, I've been saying it's tension since he won the international championship the second time. Okay. I've called this months ago because, again, Orange Cassidy expresses himself with emotion. He is not going to say much, but his body language tells the story. When Orange Cassidy won the international championship the second time, and right before, I want to say the week before the Roderick Strong feud, that's when things started to get a little bit, the tension started to rise between Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy. But I'm going to say it from both perspectives. I'm going to start with Orange Cassidy. Now, Orange Cassidy, his second reign with the international champion, he wasn't the same person he was the first time. If you look back when Orange Cassidy was the champion around his second reign, his attitude was different. He was more impatient. He was also a little bit arrogant. He wasn't himself. The belt was kind of consuming him a little bit. Like the best friend, like the aura of Orange Cassidy was still there, but him as a character was changing. Now, you probably didn't notice because, again, he doesn't say much, but Orange Cassidy's body language is part of his character. That's what makes him, that's what makes him unique as a character. You might confuse it as lazy, but he's actually saying something with his body language. If you don't recall, it was a match, and it was either on Rampage or Dynamite. But it was a tag match between Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy, and they faced Penta and Commander. And around that match is where I peeped. It was tension between the two. If you go back when Best Friends first started, around 20, around the time people started to accept Orange Cassidy as a wrestler, when him and Trent do have the tag matches or the trios. Their dynamic has always been, they're really good friends. They're happy. The match between them and, the Penta Commander match, the dynamic was not there. It was like one was trying to big up on the other. One was big bro on the other. Orange Cassidy, you could tell Orange Cassidy's body language, I have to come to the rescue for Trent every time. And then Trent was just, his body language was, Orange is always doing his own thing. That's where that tension kind of started a little bit. Then it kind of picked up when, Renee would do the backstage segments with them, the interviews with them. And Orange Cassidy would, when they put their hand in to do the 1, 2, 3, he started to kind of forget to do it with him. If you look back, it was one, it was on Rampage, I believe, when they did the 1, 2, 3, and Trent, it was Rocky Romero, Chuck, they was in, and he was just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did shit like that. Trent started to pick up on that because Trent would look at him away when he was doing it. And then I posted a clip not too long ago where they had the backstage, another one, and Orange was facing Shibata. And that's when Trent was like, oh, you're facing him? Oh, that's weird. And, Orange hit the he basically said what the fuck without saying it. Like, he did why I gotta tell you what I'm doing? Orange ain't never acted like that to them before. So, Trent, they're both, it's no right or wrong person in this. This is a story where it's like, what happens when you're always clapping for somebody and that person don't see you clapping for them anymore? Versus what happens when you didn't ask to be the chosen one? Because in Orange Defense, it could be, I didn't ask to be the chosen one. Y'all built me up to be the chosen one. And you could take that all the way back to when he had his match with Kenny Omega and Pac. And then you can have Trent, because some of us been to Trent before. Like, I'm always been supportive. I work just as hard as you, but I don't get the same opportunities as you. You might say it's jealousy, but people are human. When you get tired of being unnoticed because this person is trying to outshine me and we're supposed to be a team, you're supposed to be my friend. Because even though Orange Cassidy doesn't have the belt anymore, he still wrestles as if he does. Y'all probably didn't notice that during this tag tournament, during this tag team that they do. Orange still wrestles as if he is the Atlantic champion. Or, that champion, that championship. He still wrestles that. That's what caused them to lose against the Young Bucks. He still wrestles with that arrogance. That's what caused him to lose against Roderick Strong. Because Orange Cassidy, if you also didn't pick up, since he beat Moxley, in his mind, I can beat anybody. I've beaten the person that got to me. I can conquer everybody else. He kind of lost his way. He's lost the best friend's friendship, the code of friendship, their code, their way. You kind of adapted Moxley's darkness. This the same way as you can say for Adam Page did with Swerve, but it's kind of the same thing with Orange Cassidy. You kind of adapted Moxley. And that's not you. That's not what we about. That's not who we are. So you can say Trent is in the right, but also in Orange Cassidy's defense, don't get mad at me because I'm good. Don't get mad at me because I'm working. Don't get mad. Why are you upset at me? This is what you wanted from me. What you mad at? I thought this is what you wanted from me. I thought we was good. I've been there for you, which Orange Cassidy has. When Trent gets beat up, Orange Cassidy is always out there for him. When Orange gets beat up, have we been seeing Trent as of lately? He comes out like afterwards or something. This will be a great non-title story, y'all. People that love stories. Again, this is I ain't asked to be the chosen one versus why am I not the chosen one? And then you got Chuck is broken. You can see he's hurt. Chuck is going to be hurt. Chris pissed off. And then we had that backstage, we saw that footage of, he whispered something in Chris' ear. It's like, what happens when you're tired of being the shadow of a person? We all been there before. Everybody's been there before. This will probably be a relatable story to everyone, no matter if you're in Orange Cassidy's shoes, no matter if you're in Trent's shoes, when it comes to friends. Now, this is not saying that, well, of course, they'll probably put some, some jealousy and stuff like that to make it more interesting. But everybody's been in either or shoes before. I work just as hard as this dude, but I don't get rewarded. And then you got this person, I'm only doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm just better at it. Why can't you just root for me? So this is going to be a great story. Great story between the best friends. This is something that they needed to add to this faction, to change it up, especially for Orange Cassidy. Not, I don't think it will be a heel in this. Of course, they'll, obviously make Trent Beretta the heel because Trent Beretta knows how to do promos. He's the aggressive one. He's looked at as the aggressive one because he made the first attack. But is he in the wrong? That's sometimes the power of friendship. As we've been seeing a lot, like today, friends don't mean shit today. It's been a lot that's been going on, like in the rap scene. You got City Girls, they made me sad today. And then, we saw the thing with the J. Cole thing. He was like, I don't want to beef with my friend. And he apologized in front of the community. I'm still alive, baby. That's what my kids asking me, how is it going? But the power of friendship, it can go one of two ways. Friendship, we all about rooting for each other. We all like to see each other win. But what happens when you feel like you're not being noticed? What happens if you start feeling like, am I only here to applaud you? Am I only here to uplift you? Am I only here to be a shadow behind you? Prior to Orange Cassidy, again, Orange Cassidy is probably, the most relatable wrestler. He's they call him lazy, but he's a workhorse. So it's not like Orange Cassidy didn't earn his position, because he did. He worked for it. He was, he had the most matches and he has the most wins during the time MJF was champion, and he was the better champion than MJF. But sometimes when you get blinded by success, it makes you forget the people that was, that it got you there, that elevated you, that was there. The best friends walked out the tunnel with you when you faced the Moxley. So it will be a great, relatable story. Situations will arise sometimes in friendship, especially when you have friends that don't tell you you did a good job, that don't tell you I see you, that don't clap for you. Trent has clapped for Orange, but has Orange clapped for Trent? A lot of times in friendship, people receive, but they never give. And you got to be careful with that, because sometimes you don't even notice that you're doing that. Orange Cassidy probably didn't notice that he was doing that. And Trent Beretta is tired. He's frustrated and he's tired of being overlooked. He's tired of clapping for someone that's not seeing him or seeing them. Do you think we'll see a happy ending with this story? I don't know. Maybe. We'll just have to let it play out and see how this goes. But if it goes how I think it is, I feel like this will probably be one of the greatest stories, non-title stories for AEW this year, if they deliver it correctly. It will be a great character, another layer to Orange Cassidy's in-ring character development, and also showcasing Trent Beretta, because Trent Beretta, you know, he's due for that spotlight as well. I know he's a veteran, but he still can go. So I'm definitely enjoying this. If you want like further, like even when Orange Cassidy won the championship the first time, like the emotion when he won it there with them prior to the emotion that when he won it, as you can see in the picture in the middle, it's different. The body language is different with him, you know? So I wanted to kind of break down this because, you know, it was not a random thing. It's been, the tension has been there. But of course, people are not going to pick up on it because Orange Cassidy is not the typical cut promos all the time. He is unique. He's different. You know, he'll say 1 to 3 words, but sometimes those 3 words mean a whole lot. Like we just saw videos today that they released where Dark Order asked him, can they be in the best friends now? And he didn't say nothing. He was slumped over. And I had to kind of correct the account that was like, oh, he's still lazy and stuff like that. No, he's not lazy. He's hurt. He's hurting. He's like, he literally was just slumped over. He didn't move at all. And now we know when he do that, like when he used to do that around 2019, he'll pick his head up and, you know, do the thumbs up. This time he didn't do nothing. He just laid there. He's hurt. His heart is broken. But Trent Beretta is about to set some reality for him. So this is going to be a great story. So, you know, just I'm always speak on it. And if I see something on either one of the programs, I'm of course bring it on to the show. But I just wanted to kind of educate a little bit on what's been going on, because this has been brewing right around when he got the title the second time between Trent and Orange Cassidy. But for those that just need a little bit more to understand it, I know they'll probably end up doing a video package for you guys. So, but that's what I'm here for. You know, I do AEW ROH content creation. I do podcasting, and I'm not one of those just say shit. I look at shit and I'll just be like, you know, because I enjoy, you know, dissecting little things. That's what AEW are really, really great at. They're good at putting it in your face without making it obvious, make you mysterious, make you want to think, make you want to, you know, some of it is, you know, obvious, but but this in particular, especially with Orange Cassidy, that's something that you really, really have to pay attention to, because he doesn't say much, but he expresses himself with his emotion and his body language. So if you do not know how to read people's body language or their emotions, especially in his in-ring, because his in-ring is a story, like he didn't need to do a promo to lead to a Trent and Orange thing. Like if you paid attention to like their in-ring dynamic through this tag team tournament, you could tell that it was division, because they was not on one accord. One, you know, like I said, Orange Cassidy was wrestling as if he still had that title. And Trent is just tired of it. So it's going to be a great story between the two. So Trent Beretta, he feels rejected. He feels held back. Orange Cassidy, it could be, I wasn't aware. You know, I didn't ask for this. I've only want to be the best. You know, this and this and this. Like, if you know, how am I supposed to know? So it's no wrong person in this situation, because it's relatable. Somebody's been an Orange Cassidy in their friendship, and somebody's been a Trent Beretta in their friendship, and some of us been Chuck. Some of us been like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Like, some of us been a Chuck. So exactly, put Cozy up. Put her who put that comment up. Orange was wrestling to win the title, but Trent was wrestling for Chuck. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go. Because they said it. They said we're doing this for Chuck because Chuck is still injured. Orange just said okay. Okay? So that's why I know people, everybody talking about the roll the tape that's about to happen this Wednesday, but it's important for me, I feel like, to kind of dissect things that people need to be aware of. So that way you know what's going on. So that's why I was just like, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna get into the all-in footage or whatever on Wednesday. But I do want to talk about Orange and Trent because I feel like a lot of people kind of missed why it got to this point. That's a responsibility I feel like for all podcasters to do. Instead of trying to talk about popular things, talk about things that people may have missed so that way they can know. It's all about educating. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what podcasters are supposed to do, especially if you cover something. I cover AEW. If you new to the show, that's what I try to do. That's my goal, is to help you catch something if you missed it. To catch it if you missed it. Because like I said, some people might not pick it up right away. And, if you're in content, I feel like it's kind of your responsibility to make it known without trying to, because now people want to be clickbait. People they subscribe to the app to get some gas money and stuff like that. So they do anything. But me personally, I'm not one of those. I'm here to help. So that's why I felt like this was more important than what's about to occur on Wednesday, because I feel like this will be one of the best stories, a non-title story AEW has done. And especially if they do it right, especially if the creative is there. And I feel like it will add another layer as to why Orange Cassidy is one of the greatest in-ring storytellers. Because he does deserve that recognition, because he is. He is my favorite in-ring storyteller. He speaks through wrestling, literally. And people will call it lazy. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, millennials, he represents us well, because people will call us lazy, but we the hardest workers in anything we do. Millennials we are far from lazy. We are far from lazy. We work our asses off. If we don't feel like doing something, we're going to tell you. We just don't feel like it. But we ain't lazy. So, yeah, y'all, that is it for my show. I am glad you guys tuned in today. I will be back on Monday. We got to get ready for Dynasty. Again, Wednesday, they're supposed to roll the clip, so we'll see how that goes. I'm on my EVP side. I am on the Elite side. They was talking a lot of shit this whole week. Like, it was WrestleMania, but they were still making it about AEW. It was crazy. It was just a lot. But tune in every Monday live. I go live 8 Central Time, 9 Eastern Time. Thank you guys for supporting me. My year anniversary is coming up in like 2 months. No, not my year. Shit. Will it be 3? My anniversary coming up, y'all. I've been doing this thing. But of course, I'll have a guest on here. I'm trying to see when I'll have a guest on here. I don't know yet. But thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all have a great night. I'm glad you guys made it back safe from WrestleMania weekend. It's always fun. I'm glad you guys have a good time. It's always a good time, full of love and full of wrestling, and people getting to meet people that they have been socializing with online for a long time and stuff like that. Unfortunately, you won't see Keeks at any of that anymore. Like I said, my last WWE event was almost 2 years ago. So, but you can catch me at an AEW show. I will most likely be at AEW Full Gear this year. But if they come back to Dallas for Dynamite Rampage, well, Dynamite and or a Collision, of course I will be there. You will see me there. So yes, so make sure y'all subscribe to Public Enemies. You set that notification. You can follow me on All Elite with Keeks on Twitter, the same handle. Or if you can't find me, I am in the bio of Public Enemies. So just look at their bio. I am right there. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hit my getaway music.
First of all, there's no such thing as white-collar crime. And there's definitely no such thing as black-on-black crime. Crime is crime. Let me explain something to you. I don't care if you have a white collar or a tank top. If you rob me, I'm gonna whoop your ass.